Hello children, good morning to all. Welcome back to class 12 economics online class. Today we will talk about the 10th chapter in Indian economy, that is development experience of India, a comparison with neighbors. In today's globalized world, it is very important to know the development strategies being followed by our neighboring countries. Can you tell me the names of our neighboring countries? Yes, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, Bhutan, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. In this chapter, we will compare India's developmental experience with two of its important and strategic neighbors, Pakistan and China. Okay students, so let's start our lesson. In the previous chapters, we have studied the development experience of India. The various policies India adopted, their impact on Indian economy and also various issues of our economy. From this, we understood economic transformation taking place in India. Not only in India, but all the countries in the world. So, countries with similar goal are forming regional and global economic groups. So, have you heard about SAARC, European Union, ASEAN, G8, G20, BRICS, etc.? So, these are the examples for this regional organization of countries. When we talk about India, China and Pakistan, politically they are different. So, India is the largest democratic country in the world. At the same time, military political power existing in Pakistan. Then China has only recently started moving towards democracy. But economically, India and its neighbors, that is Pakistan and China, have similar developmental strategy. Let us find out the similarities of these countries. All these countries, that is India, Pakistan and China, began towards their economic development at same time. India and Pakistan got independence in 1947. Then People's Republic of China was established in 1949. Then India made an announcement for its first 5-year plan in 1951. Then Pakistan made its 5-year plan announcement in the year 1956. This 5-year plan now called Medium Term Development Plan. Then China, on the other hand, made its 5-year plan announcement in the year 1953. Then in 2013, Pakistan began working on 11th 5-year plan. Then the plan period is 2030 to 2018, whereas China is now working on 13th 5-year plan. Then the plan period is 2016 to 2020. Then the current planning in India is based on 12th 5-year plan. Then the plan period is 2012 to 2017. But in 2015, India had restructured the functioning of Planning Commission and introduced Niti Aayog. So that is Niti Aayog means the National Institution for Transforming India. And it is introduced for designing strategic and long-term policies and programs for the government and also provide technical advice to the state and central government. So, there is a similarity in 5-year plan and strategies. Then till 1918, all three countries had very similar growth rate and per capita income. But when we talk about the methodology or strategies that were taken by these three countries are different. So each country has their own developmental strategies. We had already studied about the development strategies of India. So India had a sound trade system. Then and also India began adopting many poverty alleviation programs, rural development programs, employment generation program, and also India adopted various human capital formation measures through education and health, etc. I hope all you have studied it. So need not to explain it again. So now we are moving to developmental strategies of China. So after independence, in China, one-party rule had introduced. Under the one-party rule, economy, enterprises and land ownership by individual, etc. were brought under government control. Then the Great Leap Forward campaign, GLF campaign, initiated in 1958. It's aimed at industrializing the country on massive scale. So small scale industries were established at home. Then in rural areas, communes were started. So under this commune system, people collectively cultivated the land. Okay. Then during this time, China witnessed a kinds of problems. So China had conflict with Russia, and Russia withdrew their professionals from China, and also there was a severe drought that affected China. Along with this, in 1965, Mao Zedong introduced the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution, under which students and professionals were sent to work and learn from countryside. That is the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution. Then, since 1978, China began to introduce many reforms in phases. The reforms were initiated in agriculture, foreign trade and investment. So in agriculture, communes were divided into small plots. Communes means collective land were divided into small plots and were allocated to individuals' households. And everyone were allowed to keep all income from the land after paying taxes. Then after the introduction of reforms, more private sectors came into exist. So the state-owned enterprises, SOEs, that is enterprises owned by government or public sector enterprises, were made to face tough competition from private sector. The reforms involved dual pricing. That is, dual pricing means fixing prices in two ways. The first one was price fixed by government. So farmers and individual units were required to buy and sell fixed quantity of input and output on the basis of prices fixed by government. Then the other way is market price. That is, price is fixed by the market forces of demand and supply. So input and output were purchased and sold at market price. This is the dual pricing system. Then, and also in order to attract foreign investors, special economic zone, that is ZEZ, were set up in China. This is the developmental path of China. Then we moving on Pakistan's developmental strategies. As India, Pakistan also follows mixed economy model. That means there is the existence of both public and private sector. They also began adopting regulatory policy framework for import substitution based industrialization. So what do you mean by import substitution? That is blocking import of manufactured goods for the protection of domestic manufacturers by increasing the demand for domestically produced goods through tariff and direct import controls on competing imports. That is known as import substitution. We have studied it early. Then Green Revolution was introduced to increase the productivity and self-sufficiency in food. So it changed the agrarian structure of Pakistan. In 1970s, nationalization of capital goods industries took place in Pakistan. So nationalization means it is a process of transforming private owned asset into public sector, or government takes the ownership of that private sector enterprises. This process is known as nationalization. So in Pakistan, nationalization of capital good industries took place in 1970s. But late 1970s and 80s, denationalization was introduced. That is opposite of nationalization. That is denationalization was introduced and gave encouragement to private sector. Then Pakistan also received financial support from Western nations and remittances from increasing outflow of immigrants to the Middle East. So these were the major source of income for Pakistan. So there are financial support from Western nation and remittance from the citizens who were working in Middle East. Okay. Then in 1988, reforms were initiated in Pakistan. So in China, reforms were started in 1978 and in India it was 1919 and in Pakistan the reforms were started in 1988. So these are the development strategies of China, India and